have little accomplishments every day. Little things. I use the old example. I picked up a ball. I didn't hit a ball. I didn't throw a ball. I just picked one up. And I was delighted with that because I could approach that with an attitude of, oh, I used to be able to throw the ball, pitch a baseball, whatever. And I took it and turned it on its head. Hey, I was not able to pick up a ball 10 minutes ago, and I'm picking up a ball. That's an accomplishment. Small accomplishments, but it's so important to your attitude. Run the race of the turtle, not the hare, because you will not generally be successful trying to go fast. You will be discouraged trying to go fast and maybe give up. Hello, welcome to episode 30, How to Relearn Things After You've Had a Stroke. And I can add how to learn things. The ability to learn is different. This applies to both domains, the physical and the mental. How to relearn basic physical skills like running or moving your arm and suddenly throwing a ball or whatever. And the mental. Learning how to count again. Learning, because, I don't know if most of you had it, but there was a point where I couldn't even count. And certainly couldn't speak. And basically, all the basic things you learned as a child, it's different. Now, for instance, as a child, the original connections between the nerves, the muscles, and the brain were first established. And you learn to walk, as an example, relatively painlessly, I assume. Most of us learn to walk and run by 4. Basically, we had running down. You made, after that, continuous progress as you got older and with no effort. Evident effort. Believe me, now you have to learn patience in addition, because now it's going to be much slower, and with these new connections you have to establish. First you have to establish them, and if you achieve 80% of your abilities within the same time frame as a kid, you would be a miracle. And that is more true the older you get, the more of a miracle you become, because you're starting later and it gets harder and harder to establish new connections, or so they claim. So for starters, one major qualification of your learning process is recovery is not with the same precision, coordination, balance, and etc. that you had before the stroke. Be ready for a sense also of weakness in your limbs. By the way, please like and subscribe to this channel and spread my message of hope. For instance, episode 2 is worth sharing with family and friends. It's me explaining what you're going through to your family and friends so that it takes all the pressure off you. I'm complaining, not you. But it's just an example of, hey, I'm trying to explain to them to be patient with you. It's a matter of time. Probably you'll get a lot better, but whatever your state, you should improve. And if you explain that to them, it's much easier. I'm complaining, not you, so what a deal. In my case, I have recovered pretty much everything, but rarely, and depending on what we are discussing, whether it be legs, fingers, mind, whatever, rarely to the same extent as before. Maybe that is why I am conducting a pleasurable experiment with my mind in my right hand of trying to get back fully my guitar playing. I don't have time to recover every area fully to the same extent I used to have it, but choose something you really want a win for to make yourself feel a lot better. The most important thing is patience and stay positive. It's so important to remain positive in your attitude. You can accept minor setbacks, but overall, it helps greatly if you're positive. Not because you had a stroke, that's depressing beyond belief, but the small progress you're making, take pride in it. The emotional and mental side of stroke is so shockingly depressive. You have to stay positive to fight that. You will, on the whole, not come back quickly. Not come back quickly at all. So it's very, very important for you not to let yourself get stuck in an oh woe is me rut. Hard as it is to think about, I know that many times I wanted to give up, desperately wanted to give up and just pack it all in. But eventually you have to come out of that. Have little accomplishments every day. Little things. I use the old example. I picked up a ball. I didn't hit a ball. I didn't throw a ball. I just picked one up. And I was delighted with that because if I could have approached that with an attitude of, oh, I used to be able to throw the ball, pitch a baseball, whatever. And I took it and turned it on its head. Hey, I was not able to pick up a ball 10 minutes ago, and I'm picking up a ball. That's an accomplishment. Small accomplishments, but it's so important to your attitude. Run the race of the turtle, not the hare, because you will not generally be successful trying to go fast. You will be discouraged trying to go fast and maybe give up. You may remember at first, I mentioned the therapist several videos ago who at first advised me, hey, he's not able to work with me until he removes adhesions and knots in my body. He said I would not proceed further along the road unless I did that first. So no relearning walking and things like that until the adhesions and knots are knocked out. That's because I spent so much time in the hospital bed. But anyway, If he had not done that starter thing on my body, my other efforts would have been diminished, or maybe not happen at all. It slowed my progress, but it was a necessary step. Recovery has to be progressive. So there's no shortcuts, and there are a few easy methods out. That is why reward yourself daily with little accomplishments and be satisfied with slow progress. I understand that there is a tremendous pressure to speed up. You want to progress as quickly as possible because you want to salvage as much of your old life as you can. You definitely want to be as little a burden as possible to your family or your caregivers. You want to strain as little as possible your relationships, including your work relationships. Your boss wants you back at work, or you think he might search elsewhere. Remember my analogy of the wounded animal. People who are meeting you for the first time, that's the first impression and that's the lasting impression. So what do they say about first impressions? It stays with them. Get out of situations like that until the body heals a bit and before you come out of your lair. I hope with all my heart that you are able to negotiate all these situations. It's one of the most difficult parts of the stroke. The early part of the stroke is setting the later parts, obviously, and it's very, very important to try and make it's very, very important to try to make your impressions as positive as possible. I'll leave you now. Thank you for listening, and don't give in to stroke.